The next guest on today's Trackmania Live is Riolu from Germany, a player for Nuravin. One of the most popular streamers out there and recently had some big numbers during the Trackmania release. Riolu, glad you take the time during a busy time. Like I said to most people, I haven't wanted to ask people to come on before, let's say, 1 week has passed because I imagine you have been crazy busy during this release time.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for having me again. It's a pleasure to talk to you again for like the fifth time now, I think. So
That's too many.
it's always great to be back here on your sofa. But yeah, the last week has been incredibly crazy, and also the weeks before when I did the Trackmania Marathon, which was a big project for me as well. I was already super busy. I was really working a lot more than what I did previously. And now with the new game being released, I'm pretty much always constantly being surrounded with Trackmania. So it's always something to do, you know. You either
Mm.
stream or you work on videos or you collect clips for the videos or you check Discord, watch other people, check Twitter, all the stuff. And it's been really busy, like really, really busy. It's actually difficult to find time for other things right now, but yeah, gotta do what you gotta do, and it pays off. Like the hard work. You already pointed it out. The numbers are just a lot bigger than what they used to be before. So the hard work is paying off, and that's the best motivation you can get to actually see that people kind of appreciate your work, that people like to watch what you do, and that just keeps me going. So even though it's a full-time job or beyond full-time at this point, I still enjoy every second of it. So it's actually amazing. Like hard to put it in words, to be honest, because I didn't expect it to go like this. But yeah, I'm super happy.
Mm. And something that important that you mentioned there is that you actually did a lot of work before it was released. Was that some sort of plan, I don't know, tactic to actually, because most people are like, okay, let's wait until 1st of July, then I stream it and hope for viewers. But you sort of went through the whole Trackmania genre with all the Trackmania Marathon you did. Was that sort of some sort of tactic to actually show people Trackmania and then also, hey, a new Trackmania is coming up. Hey, you should follow me during the release day?
Yeah, it's actually a good thought. And yeah, it was kind of my plan from the beginning. You pointed it out. So my plan was to kind of get some initial hype for Trackmania by just playing all the games. Because in the past there have been a lot of popular Trackmania games, such as ESWC. You noticed how big of a hype there was when people started to play the game again. So I knew that there was something, and I had to work with that special thing that was in the past of Trackmania, in the history of Trackmania. So I thought, hey, this marathon is a pretty cool idea. Kind of got inspired by the Need for Speed streamer Kuru HS, who did his racing marathon with a lot of other racing games. He wasn't just specifying on like one game, but he played a lot of racing games in this marathon type of format. So I was like, nobody has ever done that for Trackmania before. Why not be the first? And that was kind of my big thought along the entire marathon, pretty much. So I just went with it, and I thought it's a cool thing. Also for me personally, because I played most of these games in my childhood as well. So it was great to actually go back and see how the games used to be before, well, Trackmania became what it is now. And with people coming in and checking out the marathon, you just automatically generate that hype for Trackmania and for the new release as well. So the plan was to bring people in to make them interested in Trackmania and then be like, wow, hey, there's a new Trackmania. So we could kind of end the marathon one day before the new game release. That was the plan all along, pretty much. And then kick it off with the new era, with the new game being released. So the plan actually worked out brilliantly, I must say. I was a little skeptical at some points because I thought maybe I was too slow, maybe a bit too fast, but at the end it was actually spot on. So yeah, it was a good idea, I must say, and I'm happy it worked out that way because I wasn't really sure how well it's gonna work. Like, how much are people really gonna like it? Are people maybe just gonna get bored? But at the end, it was actually much bigger of a success than I initially expected it to be on YouTube as well. Not only on Twitch, but also on YouTube. So yeah, all in all, I think I contributed a bit of hype for Trackmania as a franchise, and I'm happy.
Hmm. And then you have played all the Trackmania games, and then July 1st you played a new Trackmania game. I guess you are maybe the best person to ask this then. What is the main difference, if you are to explain it to maybe a casual viewer, someone who just watched Trackmania, what is the main difference in this Trackmania game? Is it the car handling? Is it the design? What is the main difference with this new Trackmania?
I think the main difference, and I think it is a step that should have been done years ago is making Trackmania modern again. One big problem of Trackmania, and Nadeo sadly didn't realize until now, is the fact that Trackmania 2 and Mania Planet as a whole just wasn't profitable at all because it was kind of aiming for a wrong audience and it was kind of growing out of proportion for what it should have been in first place. Because Mania Planet was originally kind of advertised as just a platform for all the games, for TM2, for Shoot Mania, for Quest Mania. But yeah, later it just turned out to be a massive pile of tools that you had that you could use to create your own stuff. But you can't really promote that, and people just got straight up confused by all the new titles, and every environment is separate and stuff. So I think that originally kind of good idea backfired quite hard, and ended up making Trackmania lose out on a lot of potential audience. And what they did now with the new game is that they finally made it modern. They refreshed Stadium, which was a 14-year-old environment when you look at it, from 2006 ESWC till now, 14 years. So they finally took Stadium, which was successful, and made it modern. Because gaming moves on and everything moves on with time, but Trackmania kind of got stuck in the past. And they finally realized that and made Trackmania kind of compatible with 2020 again. And that also goes hand in hand with the payment model, because the payment model is something that people complain about. I can understand, but it's a necessary step to kind of make the game work in 2020. You can't just put out a game like back in the days with, I don't know, Trackmania United, just pay it once and it's done. That's not how it works nowadays. So you need to make sure you get these regular payments and put out updates all the time and new blocks and new features and everything. But yeah, I think the biggest difference is simply the fact that it's modern and not really the gameplay. Of course, the gameplay is a bit new. There's some new stuff. There's ice, reactor boosts, etc. But the main difference is really the way this game is approaching people. It's really tailoring towards new people again, towards new audiences. You really see that. They try to make it a bit more, I don't know, easy to understand, easy to access with a very simple to get game. It's just Stadium. You just get into the game. You can play. You don't have to go through 8 title packs and whatever. You just play the game, right? And this approach is what makes the biggest difference, I believe.
But then you have played all games. You have been around Trackmania for a long time. Do you think that this game will break into some sort of mainstream audience, or do you think that eventually, let's say in 6 months, you are not going to have XQC Soda Pop in, and eventually get left with maybe the same audience that was around Trackmania 2 Stadium?
I think that's a very difficult topic to touch upon because there are so many factors that come into play for this question that I think we could talk about this for like 3 hours straight. But
Podcast, yeah.
yeah, it's great podcast material for sure. But I believe that they have made some good steps forward to bring the game to a general broad audience in first place, but a lot of more work needs to be done. So now, of course, I'm no expert. I'm not qualified to kind of analyze the market and stuff. But from what I can see is that you have the general interest. People like the game. You have XQC, you have Soda Pop, and you have Lyric. You have all the big streamers. They like the game. They don't say, "Wow, it's ass. I'm not going to play it again." But they actually play it. You've seen it yesterday. They played together, 1v1. They don't do that in every game. So you see that there's general interest for Trackmania. They think it's a fun game. It's exciting. It's cool to watch for people because all the crazy stuff which is happening in Trackmania just appeals to people. Fast cars, stunts, looping, full speed. All the good stuff. All the stuff that kind of attracts people, and that make Trackmania what kind of makes Trackmania stand out as well. Among all the other racing games that are just, I don't know, normal street racing, tuning, the Need for Speed kind of stuff, or the sim racing stuff maybe as well. But Trackmania has its own kind of characteristics, and I think that's what really appeals to people. So then again, I can't tell, but I think they are making good steps, but they really need to work on kind of keeping the long-term thing going for big streamers so that they kind of invite them to events, like host events, let them host events like Zerator maybe, host events from Soda Poppin maybe or something. So you kind of get this connection with their community, with the game, and also with Nadeo Ubisoft. That could be a step forward as well. And then, of course, a lot of more promotion, get people to play even more, and maybe even get out some type of advertisements. We'll see. But I think first steps are done, but there needs to be a lot more to keep people going.
And talking about the events, we have an upcoming TMGL show match on this weekend, and then later the next weekend we have the Serati Cup. Can you quickly explain what competitions are you more focused about? Is it finally you're gonna go full hard on Serati again? Is it to defend the success you had in Trackmania Grand League? Tell people what are you aiming towards once it comes to events in this new game?
Oh yeah, that's a hard question actually, because just alone in the month of July we have 3 competitions, like 3 major competitions. You name 2 of them, and there's also the Pittsburgh Night competition, which is, I don't know if it's taking place in July actually, but there's definitely some type of announcement at least in regards to mapping or something. So yeah, I'm also looking forward to that competition. But the question between TMGL and ZRT, I think since I'm kind of back to ZRT, I of course want to play good because it's a great chance to get your name out as well to the French community and just gain some more exposure, because now is a good time to expand and to get more people in. That's a great opportunity. But TMGL in my vision, in the long term vision, is more important because TMGL has the potential to become super big if Ubisoft Nadeo push it properly. So I think there's a lot of potential, and I like TMGL as a format more than ZRT because I like endurance. I like the aspect of focusing on consistency, not so much the crazy maps that are played at ZRT. So I use ZRT. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm using it just to push the numbers a bit, to also learn the game with all the new blocks and stuff. Not because I thoroughly enjoy playing ZRT or anything. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you here because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie here at this point. But Grand League is more of a serious thing, so I think Grand League has priority. But I also want to do good at both because, as you might know, I'm that kind of guy who wants to perform always, at his best or at my best. So I'm gonna try. At the moment, I'm kind of alternating. One day ZRT, one day TMGL. But since TMGL is closer, I think I will do more TMGL first, and then in the upcoming week more ZRT.
And like you said, this is a lot of topics we can do on a podcast. And don't be surprised if I ask you to come on a podcast. But for now, I guess this is somewhat of a short interview with you. I have a schedule to keep today. I don't think I will keep it, but I appreciate you taking the time. Tell people when are you streaming? Is it every day? Is it every hour? Tell people where can they find you and what time?
That's a great question right here. So
Favorite question, right?
yeah, that's very tactical. But yeah, I'm streaming. I'm trying to go with a schedule now. So every day from 7 p.m. CST to midnight. So 5 hours of Trackmania every day. So people kind of know when to expect me. I used to stream, like, I did daily streams all the time from the last 2 years almost. But yeah, now I want to go with a schedule. So yeah, if you want to watch some Trackmania with me, then you know where to go. And thanks for having me, Eric, and good luck and enjoy the other interviews as well.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if you see riolu coming up for the 6th, 7th, 8th time. I don't know. It's too popular at the
Always
moment,
a
and it's too
pleasure,
much
man.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for stepping up, and thank you, riolu. That's it. Bye bye.